Hey everyone, Anthon-patapon here, and today we're going to take off some more Crash Nitro Kart for the Nintendo Gamecube. So, as you could probably tell right off the bat, there are some right here. There are some things that are different with how the save file is now, because something happened to my save file and like it didn't update for some reason. So now I'm pretty much stuck with having to pretty much start from the very beginning. Now, granted, I don't have to catch all that up right now since I don't have to play Velo, but I am going to go back and fix that as soon as I get finished with Teknee. So, in the last part, we've taken care of the races in Teknee, and now we're going to get the tokens. Hopefully they're more metallic here, although I don't think they'll put that much detail into it. I just need to find the, what is it, Assembly Lane it's called, because that's the only one I keep forgetting the name of. Yeah, Assembly Lane. So let's get it started. But yeah, other than that, I don't think there's really too much to worry about. I know I've talked a lot about the Switch in the last part, and there's not really much I have to say here, but I cannot believe we're actually so close to the freaking console's release. The first game I'm probably gonna do on the Switch, gameplay or like not a whole playthrough, but just the gameplay of, is easily gonna be Super Bomberman R, because I freaking love Bomberman. Now it's not like the same type of love I feel for Crash or Diddy Kong Racing or any type of those games, any of those types of games, but it's definitely a series I've long waited to take care of on this channel. And I already have taken care of some of it, Bomberman Land for the Wii and some gameplay of Bomberman Blast, but ultimately, since there was a couple of years and I didn't have a 360 to take care of the other Bomberman game, not that one. We unfortunately didn't have much to cover on it other than like all the super old games, and I think it'd be a bit more redundant if I just covered like the 64 Bomberman titles. So, unrealistically optimistic, I was trying to say, oh, okay, maybe by some off chance that Konami would actually care about their other IPs and start doing something with it. And then, you know, the whole thing about Konami and stuff, I don't think I have to run you guys down through that. I think a lot of you know about how that worked out. Needless to say, it was not looking good. But now, outside of the freaking Japanese exclusive mobile Bomberman title, which I don't even know how that was holding up, at least now we have something. We finally have something, and it's gonna be with the Switch 2 as a launch title. You know for a fact I'm gonna do something with that, not a playthrough. Like, I would do a playthrough if the story is interesting enough, but honestly though, I just want to play Bomberman again. That's all I want. Like, just play a new Bomberman game like I have been years ago. Oh, this might be bad. Oh, frick, I gotta go back. This is the last lap too, keep that in mind. Like, I could probably make this.
The doctor is in.
Yep, I made it. Woo! That was too close. Like, that was super sloppy and close, but I'm so happy. Like, I probably I won't show the tweets, but like, I was excited. That's all you need to know. I was excited to see that he was finally getting a game again. I even cried too, but I'm not gonna start crying here because like I'm just waiting for it at this point. Okay, but let's recap. We have the Switch, freaking Bomberman, Super Mario Odyssey, which that I probably won't even show gameplay of, but I will say that it is one of the top priorities of the list in 2017 in general. It's just that since Bomberman's much closer to the release of the Switch than that, of course that's going to be first. So you could say that's more so an exception, but there's also Splatoon 2. Dang it. Okay, let's see. There's Splatoon 2, there's Super Mario Odyssey. Freaking. Oh, I missed a C, I think. And then for PS4, we also have like the Crash Insane trilogy. And then there's Xbox. I'm not sure of how I feel about getting Breath of the Wild. Like, I probably won't get that at launch. I really have to think about getting a Zelda title, period. Because, I know the Zelda titles are probably like the most fun things in the world, especially with Nintendo and everything, but it's not my cup of tea, if you can understand. Or, as we say in this channel, a cup of coffee, because, tea is a high-key overrated.
Oh my! Yes.
The other thing, though, is that ARMS game. ARMS is something I want to not only try playing, but probably play with you guys if you guys are going to get the Switch and ARMS, because, oh my god, it looks so fun. Like, I wish I was there to actually try it out with the Joy-Cons and everything, but obviously that was not the case. But some other time. It's only like, what, 7 weeks away since the freaking presentation? Like, it's not like the Wii where it was like, you have to wait some months before you could get the thing. Like, that's just crazy. Like, that's still the craziest thing about the whole thing. But hey, as long as we get some decent games for the beginning of the year, then I got something to do, you know, along with school and everything, because this won't be as much of a boring year as it was in like 2016. I don't know. For me, it was super unproductive last year. Oh, whoa! Did you see that? The frame dropping was insane back there. Did you guys see that? Is everyone bunched up on the top over there? Because, like, that's the only time I could ever think of that actually happening. But, in terms of the PS4, I already said Insane Trilogy. I do want to take care of, like, some Uncharted gameplay with you guys, but, I'm still debating on that, as well as some other games on the PS4. There are some like PlayStation Now, you know, the streamed PS3 titles I'm thinking of doing as well. But again, that's something I have to debate upon, because like there's not really that many games on that library that honestly pique my interest. I mean, there's some of it, don't get me wrong. Just something is all. I wonder if we'll ever get another multiplayer freaking Ratchet and Clank game though. Oh my god. Like, the anticipation is freaking killing me. Oh, and Sonic Mania. I almost forgot about that title. Like, not like forgot about the title itself, but more so the fact that it's coming to Switch too. So I'm pretty much debating on which version I'm going to get with that. I know for Yooka-Laylee I'm getting that on Steam, but... And thankfully my PC actually runs super smoothly with that, so we're in the clear about that. But there's also debating on Street Fighter 5. Like, I honestly think I spent getting Street Fighter 5 a little bit too early. Because while there's some worthwhile things going on with the game, first off, the online needs to be revamped, like, immediately. Because I honestly almost didn't want to play the game at that point. So at that point, it's pretty much, okay, I'm playing super bad. So it's like at this point, I'm just pretty much waiting for either the online to be fixed or season 3, or maybe later or season 2, depending on what type of changes they may or may not make. Then again, they do like yearly updates with stuff, so it's probably not even going to be possible to see that happening. Like, character balance is not the issue for me here. I mean, just look at the other game I've been playing on my channel. Like, freaking... like, 80% the game's in your favor, but you flub up once, the game ends up being immediately... I wouldn't say 0-100 because that's not how games work. No matter how, ridiculously cheesed you can get. It's just crazy how, like, freaking... how some of the factors of rage can actually ultimately cheese you out in the game. It's not that... I know the rage is not that powerful. It's not, at least not in Smash 4 compared to like the likes of freaking Pokken, Tekken 7, and probably some of the other freaking titles that Bandai Namco has been working on. I'm not sure if even Xenoverse... I'm not sure Xenoverse has that though, so I think that's okay. And I know ARMS won't have it either, because, you know, they're not even the ones making it. I do like some of the characters of ARMS, though. Like, once we start learning more about them, I'll probably elaborate on them more, on which one may or may not be my favorite. But that's all for that. Splatoon 2. Oh my gosh. Anyway, Splatoon 2. I want to see more of the new maps. I already like some of the special weapons, and some of the subs too. What? You can actually hit that? Anyways, I like some of the super weapons that they had there. Hopefully, some of the subs are good. Are good too. Because ultimately, while I do want to see the maps and everything, the thing that's the ultimate decider if I'm going to like this purchase or not is the content distribution. There was a little tidbit of it in the presentation. What the heck? Anyways, there was a little bit of it in the presentation that mentioned that they're gonna do the content distribution again, and that had me worried for quite a bit, honestly. If you haven't played the first game, it was barren at first, but over the course of the like freaking game's lifespan, you know, up to the present time, of course. I don't think it's like quote unquote dead yet, but over the course of the game's lifespan, they just added like little tidbits of weapons, not necessarily costumes, but like weapons and maps. It was only around August when they decided to add some of the bigger things in the game, which ultimately didn't really do too much because some people were already disinterested with the game when how barren it was. And Sakurai did mention that if you're already disinterested in the game, no amount of content they add is gonna bring you back without like drastically changing the game. Like I don't know. And ultimately, as I was saying, the game, like the fact that the game pretty much was surrounded by like content that was being added, it doesn't matter if it was free or not. It was just the fact that there was a lot of the stuff that was on disc that pretty much turned a lot of people off when it came to getting the game. Like why? Why was that the model they went with for Splatoon? Like, it's not like the thing was like, it wasn't like the game itself wasn't bad or anything like that. They did have to readjust the balance on some of the games though, like game modes. But when it came to like the base of the game itself, I'll never understand why they did that. Never. Well, I probably will understand it in like a couple of years, but still. I just hope they don't, with Splatoon 2, they don't end up doing it again. Because people are understanding how this stuff worked when it turned out that all the content that was being put away was like already on the disc. So it's like, come on guys, free or not, We pay for this stuff. We're not like wanting to be limited on what we get. It does like freshen the game, but only because of the fact that it was already locked away to begin with. So it's like, why? I just hope they don't like, especially with those cool super weapons too. Like, I want to see how the system works. Some people have been mentioning that now you can assign specials and subs like that, which I think potentially that could be super changing to the game's meta, but at the same time, without enough playtesting, it might just break it down. But yeah, I think I'll talk a little bit more about Splatoon 2 in a more elaborate way in the next part. So, see ya.